Welcome to Monday, the 21st day of February 2021. This Day Weather Podcast being brought to you by Chugwater Chili, the gourmet spice of Western life. Don't forget to get 20% off with purchase code ChugwaterDon at checkout. And check out Chugwater's green chili seasoning. Get 20% off and get some chili to get us through this cold weather. As Arctic air is here all week, folks. We're going to have multiple days of severe cold and severe wind chills through Friday. This is by far the longest stretch of cold weather the high plains and Rockies have seen this winter. Snow will be likely, mostly light to moderate. This is the type of storm where most snowfall amounts will be 1 to 3 inches, some areas of 3 to 6 inches, although we do see some pockets of heavier snow, and we'll show you that. Sub-zero temperatures are likely for the next 4 to 5 nights in many areas. Sub-zero wind chills of 30 to 40 below zero will be possible in most areas. Now, by the weekend, temperatures will moderate, but the pattern looks active heading into March after a brief break. After this Arctic outbreak, from this weekend through the middle parts of next week, I don't see a lot going on. There's going to be a break, but once we get back and into that first week of March, we may see the weather pattern get busy again. We'll show you that. Today's satellite photo shows Pacific moisture streaming out ahead of the low that's actually up here, swinging down towards the Great Basin, while the Arctic air is pouring into parts of the Pacific Northwest, the northern Rockies, and the high plains. And you can see it right here with the high in the Gulf of Alaska, pumping up that ridge, and then the Arctic air has got nowhere to go but south. Here's that spoke we showed you last week of the most severe cold. It's got nowhere to go but south. So it's going to spread into the Rockies and high plains and also get west of the Continental Divide. By noon today, the Arctic boundary is going to be right here, and the purple is showing where the real severe cold is. So it's going to be another warm day out here on the plains where you see the brown and the oranges, but temperatures in those areas will be plunging by afternoon. Now, by noon on Wednesday, you can see how slow everything's moving. The low is down around Las Vegas. The trajectory of the air is still coming in from the higher latitudes, and the cold air is going to fill in around this area here, but Pacific moisture will be coming up and over the Arctic air. And what that's going to do is that's going to produce more snow. By Tuesday morning, we see the Arctic air getting into the Texas Panhandle, Oklahoma Panhandle areas, headed to the Gulf Coast. And you can see the extent of all the purple and the green and blue up there. And this is by noon Wednesday. So we're talking a 30 to 35 degree below the 30-year average, pushing all the way into Texas, Oklahoma, and throughout all the northern high plains and Rockies right here. You can see this, that big blue area, the big green, blue, and purple areas. Look at the cold getting into the western side of the divide there. These are temperatures by Wednesday morning. The forecasted low temperatures, lots of 20s. We've got some 20s to near 30s in this area right here. You can even see these gray pockets here? Getting into Washington, Oregon, Idaho, parts of Utah. We're going to see that's where the most severe cold is going to be. Precipitation-wise, heavier precipitation is going to be right here with that upper level low swinging south like this. But this is going to be an extensive area of light to moderate snowfall, which will exacerbate the cold. And underneath these blue areas here, you're going to see maybe upwards of 6 to 12 inches of new snow. Remember, when you get Arctic air and you put Pacific moisture on top of it, the snow stacks up a little bit deeper. This area right here, along I-80 and into northwest Colorado, is another area of heavier snow, which will be causing travel problems later today, tonight, and tomorrow. Out on the plains, snow amounts are much lighter, but enough to make things really, really icy. Good to see this right here for the snowpack for sure. Taking a look at what the snow looks like, you can see all the purples and the pinks and the darker redder colors there where the heavier snow is going to fall. This is between now and Friday. Now, as we go into Friday afternoon, this is by noon Friday, the upper level low is beginning to weaken, but it's still there. And there's going to be a pocket of cold air that's going to be right underneath here. So basically, folks, we've got this weather that is going to be Arctic all the way through Friday. But this is by Sunday. The colder air then begins to head into the Great Lakes. And as it heads into the Great Lakes, we are going to be looking at warmer temperatures moving in. And you can see the warmer temperatures relative to average pushing in by next Monday, so March 1st. Going forward, though, this is by Wednesday into Thursday of next week. We have another trough coming into the Pacific Northwest. So the weekend through the middle of next week, a break. But then we have what could be a large western storm right around the 5th of March or the next weekend after this one. We'll put a question mark on this. We'll see what happens. But we have seen this in the long-range modeling for the last several days where a large trough that first weekend of March could be moving in, and this would be associated with much colder air again and better chances of snow. So we're going to keep an eye on this for you. In the meantime, be ready for the big chill. It's here. It's not turning back. We're going to have to deal with it through Friday.